Hi kids, Chris Godinez, licensed professional counselor, also the host of We Need to Talk on every Sunday at noon, and then I posted up to Facebook, and now I am doing these little videos 3 to 4 times a week, so answering your questions. This video is for educational and informational purposes only. The views and opinions stated herein are mine and mine alone. They do not represent the ACA, the APA, or any other therapist for that matter. Boom, shakalaka, done. I'd like to thank my sponsor, other side, BetterHelp, BetterHelp, BetterHelp.com/Chris Godinez. They're an online therapy company. They are international. They are easy to get into. They have great therapists. I've had a lot of really good feedback from people. They've got very affordable packages. So just go to betterhelp.com/Chris Godinez. Okay. So today is Friday. I will be seeing you guys tomorrow. Yay! In Tampa. I'm very excited. So I get to see you guys tomorrow. I think we are cutting off ticket sales at, I think we're cutting them off at noon today. So, because my flight is later in the afternoon, and if I don't have you down, I won't be able to bring goodies. So, anyway, we're cutting off ticket sales at noon. There are still tickets available at chrisgodinez.com. So I will see you guys tomorrow in Tampa between 2 and 4. If you bought tickets, you have all the information. If you have not bought tickets, you don't have the information because you need to buy tickets. So anyway, there that is. Okay, so I will be doing a show on Sunday, provided my flight does not get delayed or anything like that. I should be back in town, hopefully in time. So I'm going to be talking about that feeling lost. So when we feel lost, when we come out of an abusive relationship, that just completely, out of it, lost, not understanding who we are, what we need, and why do we feel that way, number one, and what can we do to mitigate that. So we're going to talk about that. So feeling lost is going to be the topic on Sunday. Okay, let's dive into the questions. Let me find the question. Ooh, that's not what I want. Hang on. Okay, that's what I want. Question. I didn't like change. Example, moving to another state, my son getting sick. If things were going well, I didn't want change. With change, I expected bad because of the past experience. Is this normal? So I want to clarify. So on Sunday, I talked about how narcissists don't like change. They don't like people to change. So what I mean by that is that they don't allow people to be themselves. Okay. That's what I mean by change. It's like they want to be in control 24/7. Okay. For us, survivors of abuse, we do not like change either, but for different reasons. So really, it's the intent that separates us from narcissists. So we don't like it when things go wrong. We don't. It scares us. We don't like things unexpectedly happening. It scares us. So do you see the theme here? And if things do change, we expect it to be bad because in the past it was. So that is normal for having been in an abusive relationship. So what can you do to kind of mitigate that? So change and enjoying change or accepting change involves trust. I know. You didn't expect that coming out of my mouth, but it is. Trusting ourselves, trusting the process. Okay. It involves trust. You've got to trust yourself. So how do you start trusting yourself? Well, you start working with a good therapist. Number one, you get with a really good trauma therapist that will help you process all of the abuse, all of the trauma, all of the changes, all of the things, and all the mistaken thoughts and beliefs. Little kids are the ones that don't like change. So when things change, that inner child of ours who was abused pops up and goes, no, I don't want to change. No, it's going to be bad. Because we're always anticipating it's going to be bad. So remember, our inner child is there to try to protect us. Okay. It's always trying to protect us. And sometimes mistakenly so and maladaptively so. So you're going to want to get the Self-Esteem Workbook by Glenn Schiraldi and start working on your self-esteem. You're also going to want to get with a good trauma therapist. CPTSD from Surviving to Thriving by Pete Walker. Excellent book. You're also going to want to get the Inner Child Workbook by Catherine Taylor or the one by Lucia Cappuccioni. I think it's Recovering Your Inner Child or Regaining Your Inner Child. It's something like that. but it's by Lucia Cappuccioni. So those two take two very different approaches to getting to the inner child. The Catherine Taylor workbook is experiential. You're going to be rocking yourself. You're going to be getting on the ground and playing with toys, maybe rubbing some applesauce in your hair or whatever and seeing what comes up. Or you're going to do the Lucia Cappuccioni one, which is your non-dominant hand. You're going to write your inner child. Your dominant hand, you're going to write the adult you, and you're going to have a conversation between the two of them. So however you want to go at it. I've had some people look at me and go, I am not putting applesauce in my hair. And I'm like, you don't know what you're missing. But if you don't want to do the applesauce, here's the Lucia Cappuccioni one. And they get a lot out of it. So it just depends on what works for you. Some people like the experiential one. Some people like the non-dominant and the dominant hand one. So whichever one of those two books works, do that one. So the inner child is basically going, no, 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 no change, because in the past we've gotten hurt, or it's been scary, or it's been bad, or whatever we've been telling ourselves. So basically it's working on comforting that inner child and letting the inner child know, hey, you're okay. I'm okay. Change is going to happen. It's okay. Change is actually good sometimes. Not all the time, but for the most part, it's good. And things are going to go south. That's just the nature of the universe, life, the universe, and basically everything. So you got to start changing what you tell yourself about change. I know. So how we think things is generally how they turn out. So if something happens that we don't like somebody gets sick. So the example was moving to a new state, my son getting sick. If things are going well, I don't want change. With change, I expected it to be bad. So things changing, you've got to change what you think about it. So it's like, this may or may not be bad. This may or may not be good. It is what it is, and I'm okay. It's different, and I'm okay. So remember, it's an and world. It's not a black and white world. So our abusers tend to train us to think in very black and white ways of thinking, because that's how they think. It's called splitting. All good, all bad. Black, white, good, bad, all, nothing. That's how they think. And so they train us to think the same way. So it's about making your thinking more flexible and more not black and white, a plethora of colors, okay? So change is not always bad. Some change can be, but it is what it is, And so it's changing the way what you tell yourself about that change, okay? It's scary when somebody gets sick, and they're going to get better, generally, usually, So it's scary when we move, and I'll adjust. And that's the things you tell yourself instead of, oh, this is going to be horrible, this is going to be terrible, this is going to be blah, blah, blah. Because remember, the subconscious grabs on to the negative in an effort to keep us safe, and it literally creates it happening. So if you say something's going to be awful and horrible and terrible, your subconscious is going to go, well, she wants it awful, horrible, and terrible. Let's make it awful, horrible, and terrible. No! I don't know what's going to happen. This change is upsetting. It is, because it's different. And I don't know what's going to happen, and it makes me scared. And I'm going to be okay. I'm okay right now in this moment. And I'm going to be okay. And you change the way you tell yourself the story. That's the big thing. We get stuck in these negative lines of thinking. And that's what gets us into trouble. Now, that is not to ignore reality. If somebody is, say, for example, dying, okay, this is a change I don't like. This is a change I don't want. And it is what it is. I will be with them as long as I can. I don't have to like it. It is what it is. Do you see where I'm going? There's no judgment on that. So, but, a lot of times we do this whole, it's a catastrophe, it's horrible, it's awful, it's this, it's that. It is what it is. You can't control everything. And our inner child is desperate to try to control everything to keep us safe. So I would strongly, strongly, strongly recommend getting with a good trauma therapist, number one, like really a good trauma therapist, somebody who knows their a-hole from hole in the ground. You know what I'm saying? So get with a good trauma therapist, get the Self-Esteem Workbook by Glenn Schiraldi, get the Inner Child Workbook either by Lucia Cappuccioni or Catherine Taylor, either one. I don't care, whichever one works for you. Get CPTSD from Surviving to Thriving by Pete Walker and start working on comforting that inner child and changing the story about change. Change happens. If we didn't have change, we would be static. We would never grow. We would never experience new things. We would never, good or bad, So change the way you think about change. Instead of always being catastrophizing and negative and, oh, it's going to be awful. It's like, well, it is what it is. I'm going to see what it is. And right now I'm safe. So it's okay. I'm okay right now. It's all good. So really, it's changing the way you think. Okay, I think that was it for that question. All right, so I will see you guys in Tampa tomorrow. Holy cow. Between 2 and 4. Tickets are available on chrisgodinez.com. I will be talking about feeling lost after leaving an abusive relationship. We lose who we are. We don't even know what we like for dinner half the time. So yeah, so it's really about working on regaining yourself. So we're going to talk about that lost feeling and normalizing it, because it's normal. That's what almost every abuser or abuse survivor goes through because of the abuser. And then how to strengthen who you are and feel comfortable again in your own skin. So because their whole goal is to make us feel uncomfortable in our own skin. So yeah, we're going to talk about that on Sunday, provided my flight does not get delayed. Hopefully it won't. So I will see you guys Sunday at 11 a.m. Pacific and 2 p.m. Eastern. And we will be talking about that lost feeling. So we're feeling lost. So, okay. All right, my loves, go have a great weekend. And I will see those of you in Tampa tomorrow. And I'll see the rest of you on Sunday. Talk to you later. Bye.